You've ever wondered what makes someone truly manipulate others? Or how some people seem to get what they want without ever raising their voice, without threats, without even asking directly? The secret lies in a set of powerful, often invisible tools, those subtle psychological levers that influence human behavior at its core. Today, we're going to explore the dark side of human psychology, techniques that skilled manipulators, con artists, and even covert operatives use to uncover secrets, control minds, and steer outcomes all without our awareness. This is not about magic or mind control. It's about understanding how people unconsciously reveal what they really think and feel. Let's begin with a core principle. People respond differently depending on how you communicate. When you ask a question directly, your message creates a sort of mental barrier, a security checkpoint in their brain. But when you make a statement instead, the same statement that contains an indirect probe, something different happens. Imagine you're chatting with someone and you casually mention, "You know, I read somewhere that most people really dislike their jobs." Now, you haven't asked a question. You simply shared a thought. But what does this do? It invites the other person's mind to fill in the blanks. And because you haven't put them on the defensive, they might start to share details they'd never reveal if asked outright. Here's a classic tactic: triggering disbelief. Once a person believes you doubt their story, they might get motivated to convince you otherwise, often revealing more than they intended. Suppose you're talking to someone about their recent actions, and you say, "No way, you didn't really do that, did you?" It sounds simple, but it activates a psychological drive to justify, to explain, to prove innocence. That's your cue. They'll go into more detail, sometimes spilling secrets in the process. It's a high-impact move because nobody wants to seem guilty or even just admit to something minor when they feel cornered. Skilled manipulators use disbelief cleverly to unlock confessions, especially when combined with other techniques. Now, let's talk about information, specifically how citing facts and figures can influence others without them realizing it. When you insert a statement like, "I saw a report that most people who stay late at work are actually doing less," you plant an idea there. It triggers what's called the need to correct a human instinct, to fix or debunk information that conflicts with their beliefs or experiences. People hate being wrong or feeling like they're out of the loop. So, if you say, "I read that almost 70% of people cheat on their diets," they might feel compelled to defend their habits or even admit to their cravings, sometimes more than they intended. This technique works because it appeals to their desire to be seen as informed and correct, often leading to small confessions or revealing reactions. The key is choosing the right facts to subtly reinforce your point while making them feel smart and well-informed. Next, let's learn how a provocative statement can dismantle defenses and open the door to influence. If you ask someone, "So, you've been doing this for years, that must mean you're pretty experienced, right?" You're setting a mild challenge. It's not accusatory. It's framing their actions as a skill or expertise they are proud of. Provocative statements like these, starting with "so," "bet," or "must," elicit responses we're wired to give. They trigger ego or curiosity, making people more receptive. For instance, if you say, "I bet you're really good at reading people," you spark a craving to confirm that belief. That self-validation leads them to reveal even more about themselves, their attitudes, or their secrets, because they want to appear competent or clever. Now, let's shift gears into the realm of nonverbal cues, things we all do unconsciously but can exploit. Did you know your eyes and face are windows to what you really think? One of the most reliable indicators of stress, discomfort, or lying is blink rate. When someone's talking about something stressful or conflicting, their blinking changes, often increasing dramatically. Their blinking changes, often increasing dramatically. That's your cue. When someone's calm, their blink rate slows. When they're concealing something, it speeds up. It's their subconscious screaming for relief, even if their words sound calm and collected. Micro-expressions are another goldmine. These are fleeting, involuntary facial expressions that flash across someone's face in a fraction of a second, too fast for them to control. A twitch in the corner of the mouth, a flash of disgust before a polite smile, a momentary tightening of the jaw. They betray the truth before the brain has time to build the lie. But here's the twist. Most of us aren't trained to read these signs consciously. Fortunately, the lower part of our brain already is. This primal brain, the same one responsible for survival, picks up on every behavioral nuance. And while it can't speak English, it communicates through feelings. That gut instinct you get when someone feels off? That's not paranoia, it's perception. You've been reading their energy, their posture, their tone, and their inconsistencies. The key is to learn to listen to those feelings instead of rationalizing them away. There's one question that can unlock more truth than any interrogation. What does this person want me to feel about them? This question bypasses the content of their words and focuses on their intention. Are they trying to impress you, intimidate you, gain your sympathy? Their mask, the personality they wear in public, is almost always designed to control your perception. And here's the brutal truth. The mask usually hides shame. Shame is one of the most powerful human motivators. It drives us to cover up our insecurities, to fabricate strengths we don't have, and to posture in ways that betray who we really are. Think of the man who constantly brags, flexes, and tries to dominate every room. His mask may look like confidence, but it's hiding fear, a deep fear of being hurt, dismissed, or irrelevant. He's not a lion. He's a chihuahua, barking at the door, hoping the noise alone will keep threats away. And when someone's mask is that fragile, they will go to great lengths to protect it. If you want to see someone's true self, watch their comfort level with authenticity. Do they talk about their mistakes? Do they admit embarrassment? Can they laugh at themselves? Or do they live for image, filtering their reality through curated Instagram posts, carefully lit YouTube videos, and pristine little corners of their home that look perfect on camera but are surrounded by chaos just outside the frame? Here's a chilling truth. People who are addicted to artificiality are almost impossible to form deep bonds with. Why? Because they're not even connected to themselves. Their dopamine comes from performance, not connection. Their self-worth is determined by strangers' likes, not real love. And once someone is deeply entrenched in that simulation, you're no longer in a relationship with a person, you're in a relationship with a projection. When you really study human behavior, when you get good at seeing past the mask, you'll notice something unexpected. The deeper you go, the more you realize everyone is carrying loneliness, shame, and suffering, no matter how strong they look, no matter how successful they appear, no matter how perfect their life seems online. Human behavior is just a series of coping strategies to manage those three things. Whether someone turns to humor, aggression, ambition, silence, or seduction, it's all armor. Armor to protect them from pain they often can't even name. So, what you start to see isn't just manipulation. You begin to see patterns. You begin to see pain dressed as charm, trauma disguised as power, fear masquerading as pride. And that's when the game changes. Here's where it gets powerful. Once you understand these dynamics, you're no longer just reacting to people, you're shaping their experience. Whether you realize it or not, you're already in the business of manufacturing gut feelings in others. Every interaction you have, your tone, your timing, your facial expression is sending signals that land in their subconscious. Now imagine doing that on purpose. Imagine being able to walk into a room and design how people feel around you. Trust, respect, intrigue, even fear, if that's what you want. This isn't about manipulation for its own sake. It's about awareness. It's about reclaiming your power in a world where everyone's wearing masks and pulling strings. And when you stop being emotionally reactive and start being strategically aware, something amazing happens. People start revealing themselves to you, not because you force them to, but because they feel like they can't help it. So what's left when you strip away the act, the armor, the artificiality? Just a person. Raw, flawed, human. And that's the ultimate paradox. The most powerful people in the world, the ones who command respect, who influence others effortlessly, aren't necessarily the loudest or the smartest. They're the ones who can see clearly, the ones who can spot a mask in a sea of smiles, the ones who know the difference between performance and truth. Because when you can see people for what they really are, not what they want you to believe, they lose control over you. And that's when you gain control over yourself. Thanks for watching another episode of Unraveled Mind. Please don't forget to like and subscribe for in-depth analysis into the human psyche.